Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host, the most Ghost. Today we got episode 15 of the Attitude Era review series. St. Valentine's Day Massacre 1999. Nice shot of there. Molara, hello. Oh, yeah. Want to thank everyone for tuning into the live stream here today. So this would be St. Valentine's Day Massacre in your house. One of the last of the in your house events. By this point, they're, trying to create events and kind of tagging the in your house at the end. Kind of, the end of the in your house days. So this is the February 14th, 1999. We are in the Pyramid, Memphis, Tennessee. 19,028 in attendance for this event. So this is the match you've been waiting for. A steel cage, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon. Who will survive the massacre? This is an awesome cover here. If you guys seen the thumbnail there with McMahon holding the roses, get a shot of that spine there, right there. Quick shot of the back. So, overall, I would say this is one of those shows that is, hit and miss. We're in a time period now where it's a definite transition period for WWF, and the undercard is fairly weak, but once you get into that main event, the top four matches, everything is clicking, everything is firing on all cylinders. Business is great, but the shows are not overall that good. But start off the show here. We got Goldust versus Blue Dust. Not the best match overall. Very quick match. Blue Dust ends up escaping out of the Shattered Dreams. Hey, big guns. What's going on, everybody? So Blue Dust ends up missing a moonsault. Goldust hits the curtain call for the 3, and Goldust hits the Shattered Dreams post-match. Second match of the night would be the famous Hardcore Championship match in the Mississippi River. This is one of those classic Attitude Era moments that they've shown over and over again with Al Snow and Hardcore Bob Holly. This is really the beginning of Hardcore Holly here. And, the Hardcore Championship at this time was fairly new. And, this was, a good way to highlight the Hardcore title in one of these out of control, they can go anywhere, falls count anywhere, anything goes type matches. So right away to start the match off, these guys are out in the crowd, they're going backstage, and they are outside in the Mississippi River by the time you know it. These guys are hitting guys with stop signs, with all kinds of stuff. Bob Holly ends up rolling an owl up in a chain link fence that they probably put this stuff out by the riverbank, and he kind of rolls them up in the fence and wins the championship. We have new Hardcore champion in Hardcore Holly. I thought the match was not the best, but it has that factor of what's going to happen with this championship. Of course, Road Dogg was the Hardcore champion. Yeah, I believe he had to relinquish it due to injury or something. Third match of the night, Big Boss Man versus Midian. It's this during the whole corporation versus the ministry. I'm actually really surprised Undertaker um, really didn't have a lot of pay-per-view matches around this time. Um, so during the match, we have some boring chants, very, very loud, boring chants. Very short match as well. Boss Man hits the Boss Man slam for the three, winning the match. After the match, the ministry appears. Um, Taker gets a huge pop, big reaction for the Undertaker. Undertaker is supposed to be this devil, this Satan-like figure, and he is getting cheered like no one would believe. What's up, Ian Wrestling King? Osty Ost, also, what's up? So, it's really weird that they booked Undertaker like this. And I think Edge said it the best in his one of his podcasts. Like, you know, when you're in there against the Undertaker, everything changes. The reaction of the crowd, the Undertaker is so above everybody else. It's frightening how huge of a star this man was and still is to this day. I mean, the reactions that Undertaker gets it is awesome and amazing. So Taker gets a huge pop. Big Boss Man gets carried out, and that's kind of the end of him. Fourth match of the night. Um, Tag team championships on the line. Um, let's see here. We got Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart with Deborah taking on Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown. And they also have Ivory, who recently debuted. So Ivory making her debut on a pay-per-view for the most part. So during the match, the King takes a little dig at Bret Hart. They've done this a few times, I've mentioned. And this one, I mean, so King says Owen Hart is not wrestling with shadows, taking a dig at Bret Hart's movie there. I thought that was worth mentioning. So D'Lo Brown is getting isolated during the match, hits a sky high on Owen Hart. D'Lo Brown goes for the lowdown, and Deborah comes up to the apron. We all know what's coming next. Um, Mark Henry goes for the power slam, but Owen Hart hits the guitar on Mark Henry's knee. Jeff Jarrett locks the figure four on Mark Henry. Henry taps out, and they retain the tag titles. After the match, Ivory rips Deborah's top off, and Deborah just kind of drapes the tag titles over the puppies when they're walking out. I thought this was a decent match. I wasn't the biggest fan of Owen and Jeff as tag champs, but I thought it was a good spot for Owen and Jeff. They were, seasoned veterans at this time. Owen Hart had been in the company for, going on 10 years here. And, Jeff Jarrett, he was a veteran himself. So it was a good way to highlight these two guys. Backstage we go now. Mankind promo. And, Mankind is the WWF champion. And this is one of those promos where, Mick trying to have comedy relief. And Mankind, he's like, I can become a very, very ugly person, if you could believe that. And, it's just kind of one of those one-liners that, Mankind delivers that, I fifth match of the night. Let's move on here. IC Championship match. Billy Gunn is the referee here. We have Ken Shamrock defending against Val Venis. And this is during the whole Ryan Shamrock storyline. Ken Shamrock's sister. And, up to this point, I would say this is a thumbs down show. But this match was decent. They were really trying to push the envelope with the Ryan Shamrock with Val Venis, Ken Shamrock losing his cool. But they really positioned Ken Shamrock as a baby face here, and he was supposed to be the heel, the bad guy with the corporation. He was supposed to be the heel with the corporation, but he's really positioned as the baby face. So really awkward booking here, and I don't think they got the payoff they wanted. So I said it was a decent match, and Billy Gunn is slow counting both men. Ken Shamrock hits a DDT. Billy Gunn hits two. It should have been three. And, these guys are hitting near falls. Ken Shamrock and Billy Gunn are getting into it. Val Venis rolls up Ken Shamrock for a fast 3 count. We got a new Intercontinental Champion in Val Venis. So, weird, awkward match. I really wasn't a fan of Ryan Shamrock. She was a pretty girl, but, at the time, WWF had, such beautiful women like Sable, Jacqueline, and I mean Ryan Shamrock, beautiful woman, but she couldn't compare to the WWF women at the time. This is where the show really, really picked up for me, heading into the sixth match of the night, DX against China and Kane. DX is crazy over at the time. This would be Triple H and X-Pac taking on China, who recently joined the corporation for the money, and Kane, who joined the corporation because he don't want to go to the insane asylum. Again, crazy storylines around this time. Shane McMahon is on commentary for this one. X-Pac at one point in the match takes a cheap shot at Shane, and X-Pac and Triple H here. Triple H is still wearing the long tights, the long pants. I believe he was wearing red in this one. Yeah, the kind of the red and the black cut off. I was a real big fan of him wearing like the purple and the lime green. I really like that. They hit a double suplex on Kane. Then they hit a DDT on Kane. Triple H hits the high knee on China. X-Pac hits the Bronco Buster, and after he, comes off Bronco Buster, Shane McMahon's in the ring. Cheap shots on X-Pac. X-Pac chases him, and Triple H hits the face buster on China, goes for the pedigree. Kane comes in, chokeslams Triple H. China gets the 3 count. Corporation wins the match. I thought this was a very fun, exciting, fast-paced match, and really got the crowd up and going. Seventh match of the night would be the last man standing match, the first ever last man standing match in WWF. This would be for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. The Rock versus Mankind. I thought this was a good match, a very solid match. At the time, Mankind and Rock, probably one of the best feuds in a while. I mean, these guys had their match at Survivor Series, Rock Bottom, the famous, Mankind winning the title on Raw. They had their match at the Rumble, the I Quit match. They had the empty arena match on Sunday Night Heat. So these guys are trading wins back and forth. The title is bouncing around a couple of times, and now they're at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. So this is a, really good last man standing match. I'm not the biggest fan of the last man standing matches, but I would recommend you guys checking this one out. So they battle in and out of the ring, up the aisle. We got a DDT on the technical area table, through the table. Mankind goes for a Mr. Elbow. misses the elbow. Mankind is thrown into the steel steps. Rock jumps on commentary. This is what I loved about The Rock. He wasn't afraid to step outside of his element, going on commentary, grabbing the cameras, and doing different things like this that really made him stand out and really made his matches fun to watch on. Rock on camera or commentary, taking a few digs at Mankind. Look at Mankind. He's a piece of crap laying there. The Rock is the people's champion, and just soaking in everything he could. Back in the ring, we got chair shots to Mankind's knee, chair to the face of The Rock. Mankind goes for a pile driver on the announce table. It's countered into a backdrop. The Rock goes for the corporate elbow. The Rock jumps on the microphone now, and he starts singing. We're down at the end of the Jabroni Drive and SmackDown Hotel. No, Rock's baby and lonely. Mandible claw on The Rock. Low blow to The Rock from Mankind. Mankind hits a DDT, and these guys are down for about a 7 or an 8 count at this point in time. Rock swings a chair, misses. Mankind hits a double arm DDT, hits Mr. Socko now. Rock hits a rock bottom out of the Mr. Socko. These guys are down for an 8 count. Both men are getting up. Both men grab a chair. Double chair shot to the head. Both men are down for a 10 count. Crowd boos at the draw. We got bullshit chants. And Mankind retains the title due to a draw. The Rock and Mankind are both stretchered out. And, you don't see that many. Before the match, I also forgot to mention that, we've seen 2 ambulances backstage that said, this match is going to be brutal. We've seen the I Quit match last month at the Rumble. We've seen 2 ambulances backstage, and both men loaded into the ambulances. It is noteworthy that the next night on Raw, Rock and Mankind would have a ladder match for the title. Rock would win the title and go on to Mania to face Stone Cold Steve Austin. But let's not jump ahead too far yet, because we still have a steel cage match. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mr. McMahon. This is one of those matches you want to go out and watch. I highly recommend this match. I've seen it over and over again, and I love it every time. It's one of those matches, you get goosebumps just talking about it. One of the most entertaining steel cage matches I can remember watching. So, Stone Cold is in the ring. He does his pose at the top of all 4 corners of the cage. Mr. McMahon taunts Austin. He's, taunting coming into the cage. He don't want to come in. He's, making fun of Austin. And the chase is on. Austin's running around the ring. McMahon's running around the ring. McMahon gets in the ring, and he's, holding on to the door, trying to, kick Austin. It's so awesome. So Austin runs around the side, and he's trying to climb the side. McMahon's on the inside, trying to, cheap shot Austin. And at one point, let's see, he gets McMahon out of the cage, and, they're into the crowd. They battle ringside. McMahon gets slammed into the cage a few times. They go up the side, and he bashes McMahon's head into the cage a couple of times. McMahon bounces off the cage through the announce table, and they're about to stretcher McMahon out. And Austin gets on the horn, gets on the mic, and says, it ain't going down like that. Because, first, Howard is about to announce Austin the winner. And he says, the match officially never started. The bell never rang. So, and then he's talking to, we got officials, we got agents down at ringside. Jackass in the black, that's you. If the son of a bitch is still breathing, get in the damn ring and start this damn match. Austin gets out of the ring, pulls the stretcher off, pushes McMahon, bounces him off the steel cage a few times, rolls McMahon in the ring, and we officially start this match. So this thing goes for like half an hour, about 15 minutes before the bell even rings. And it's only about a 10 to 15 minute match officially. So Austin, of course, makes quick work of McMahon. I don't even think McMahon had, any offense, but Austin hits an elbow off the second rope, traditional elbow. And he's about to walk out the door. We see the McMahon bird to Austin, and Austin, is like, man, this SOB won't give it up. Austin walks back in the ring, starts stomping a mud hole in that sumbitch, and he's tossing McMahon into the cage. Mr. McMahon is busted open, wide open. Austin is about to climb over the cage, and he's like a step or two before, winning the match. And double bird from McMahon. McMahon's bloody, busted wide open. Austin's like, man, this guy won't give it up. Climbs back up over the ring and continues with a stunner. Stone cold stunner. The match is definitely over. At this point in time, the ring is ripped open and we see a giant Paul White come through the ring, underneath the ring, through the ring. And Paul White, as they mention his name, they don't call him the Big Show just yet. He's Paul White. He's huge, King says. Tosses Austin into the cage a few times, and he kind of picks him up and throws him into one side of the cage. The cage breaks open, and Austin just kind of falls on the floor. Mike Chioda was like almost in the wrong spot there, and that cage bursted wide open, and Mike Chioda almost, ate a mouthful of steel there. So Austin wins the match and is going on to WrestleMania 15 to challenge The Rock, as you would find out. So overall, I would definitely give this show a thumbs up. It didn't start off too hot, but the last 3 matches, I would definitely, recommend you guys checking out. So thank you all for checking out this video, guys. The next episode of the Attitude Era review series will be WrestleMania 15. So we do have a fun WrestleMania here. It's not the best WrestleMania ever, but there is some, notable highlights. I'm going to review the DVD, like a standard DVD review I do. And then I'm going to watch the VHS and do my notes off of the VHS. So let me know your thoughts on the Attitude Era review series, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. Just a quick note, I will not be doing Over the Edge 99. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this recently, but I'm not going to review Over the Edge 99 for, obvious reasons. I'll probably do a Raw's Owen review. I know I have the notes for that already, but I mean, we're definitely in some tough times around the Over the Edge. I have a few SmackDowns recorded on VHS as well. I have the first ever episode of SmackDown, not the pilot, but the first episode from August of '99. So I'll definitely be reviewing that. I have a few other episodes of SmackDown, so take some time and subscribe to the channel, guys. Let me know your thoughts on St. Valentine's Day Massacre. We'll talk to you later. Peace!